Hi, welcome to a new video, and in this one we're going to be looking at my 3 favourite fantasy tracks for Gran Turismo. As GT7 is a little over a week away, I thought that would be good. So let's get started with the first one. So kicking things off, we have Apricot Hill. So I picked Apricot Hill because I wanted to break my 3 picks down into a city track, a kind of real track, and then one other. And for me, in terms of a Gran Turismo fantasy track that most resembles a real life circuit, Apricot Hill does it for me every single time. It's got a great layout. It's got a layout that would work as a real circuit and would make an excellent real world circuit. It flows really well. It actually suits a wide variety of cars. So it's not going to suit your kind of F1 LMP ones, those kind of things, but it suits most other things, and they wouldn't feel massively out of place here because, as you can see, we're on a long straightaway here. So you've got 2 straightaways that do allow you to build up a good degree of speed, but it's got some nice complex corners as well. So a couple of flowing left-rights. We're coming up to one of them now. It's got a couple of reducing radius turns, but not too evil in that regard, enough to challenge you. This little chicane we've got coming up here, absolutely love that. It works really well for me. Just love just jinking through those. And then what I actually think is quite a classic fantasy last corner for Gran Turismo tracks, a lot of them do seem to have this opening left or right hander leading onto the start finish straight. So yeah, in terms of a real fantasy track, this is the one for me, Apricot Hill. So moving on to a city location. Now, Gran Turismo over the years has been full of city tracks, but a lot of them have been the very much the right, left, right, left, right, left. 90-degree turns, and a lot of them based at night. And for me, this track, which is Tokyo 246, it's based around real roads, but it doesn't have that kind of stereotypical flow that a lot of city circuits have. It's got a first corner, sharp, just over 90-degree right-hand bend that catches me out to this day. Going back to it, I remember just how much I struggled with it. And then coming up here, we've got this really, really, really long right-hander that just seems to go on forever. And is a real test of your throttle control. And that washes you out wide, and you then come back into this, again, left-hander, 90 degrees, but it's not the sharp 90 degrees, it's a more rounded 90 degrees, if that makes sense. Coming down then into this bravery test of the little flip to the right and then back to the left, before we get into the complex section towards the end, or rather on the second half of the circuit. And you've then got this double apex right hander with a little straight in between it before we come back into what is perhaps the most technical part of the track, where we start going underneath the underpasses for the final, again, double apex right-hander, but much slower before we head then back up onto the main straight. And for me, it just epitomises really, really good city track layouts. And for me, every single day, Tokyo is the pick of them in terms of Gran Turismo's fantasy tracks based in a city location. It's one I will never get bored of. No confirmation it's coming to GT7. I would dearly love to see it come to it, but who knows? So yeah, that's that one. So for my last track, we're going way back to Gran Turismo 4, and this is one I've picked because, well, Gran Turismo's never really had anything like it since or before, and that's City de Aria. I think that's how you pronounce it, I've got no idea, but I mean, let's be perfectly honest, this is a track that is unlikely to see a return in the likes of GT7. It certainly wouldn't suit GTS because from a racing point of view, it's pretty much useless. You might get 2 cars on there, but what it does for me is it bridges the gap that Gran Turismo as a series has always had. It's never had any Tokyo or mountain road tracks, and this is about the closest we ever got. And I can still remember when this came out on GT4 Prologue, I was absolutely blown away, and I still am. It's an astounding circuit to drive. It's got some real, I mean, the section we're going through now and have just been through, it's astoundingly challenging. And, you know, you then drop out of this, you've got that big long straight before the hairpin at the end, and then the uphill section back to the start finish with, again, the really, really tight sections within it. It's just absolutely astounding, and it's great fun going back to GT4. It's one of the reasons to go back to GT4, in my personal opinion, is there's a couple of tracks like this, but this one's the real standout. Yeah, and I could have picked a rally track or a snow or an ice track, but I don't think they're particularly well done in Gran Turismo, and I never have thought that. But this is a standout, and it's actually, of my 3, the favourite and the one I'd really like to see in Gran Turismo 7, but I don't think we are ever going to see in Gran Turismo 7. I would dearly love to be proved wrong on that, but I don't think I'm going to be. So yeah, there we go. That one's my pick in that regard. So those are my 3 favourite fantasy tracks in Gran Turismo across the years. I limited myself to 3. There were many others I could have picked, you know, knocking out the likes of Deep Forest and Grand Valley Speedway. That's a hard thing to do. Even Midway I really like as well. But, you know, those are the 3 I picked. Let me know down in the comments below which ones you pick, which ones you'd like to see come back for Gran Turismo 7 if we get any tracks in future DLC. And if you've enjoyed this video, please do hit the like button, and if you want to see more content like this, please do subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon to be notified when new content gets uploaded. Thanks very much. Take care.